Stir up a mint julep. It's time for an old-fashioned political duel, Kentucky style. This time, it's healthcare, and one congressman challenging a powerful colleague to a public debate over the Affordable Care Act. Quote, "We continue to hear from you and other Republican leaders false messages that the law will hurt small businesses. They deserve the opportunity to hear all the facts of the law, not false claims and irresponsible distortions." The target of that letter? None other than the Senate's top Republican, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. And the challenger to the duel, Congressman John Yarmuth, Democrat of Kentucky, who joins us now. Sir, the Kentucky Derby is just weeks away. Surely you should be busy picking out your hat, making party preparations, maybe buying a cigar. Instead, you want to spoil for a fight with your state's senior senator. I mean, are you crazy?
Well, you know, Martin, and thanks for the mint julep message, because that's the season that we drink those. But, you know, Mitch and I represent the same people. My constituents are his constituents, and it's part of my responsibility, I think, to make sure that my constituents have accurate information about policies on the federal level that affect them. And Mitch McConnell published an op-ed in the Louisville Courier-Journal a couple of weeks ago, also in the Lexington paper, in which he made demonstrably false claims about the Affordable Care Act. And, you know, somebody's got to take him to task for that, because he's misleading his constituents and mine. So I wrote him this letter laying out all of the points in which he made false claims, and challenged him to discuss them with me in public. I know he won't do that, because he really will never allow himself to be put in a position where he can be challenged.
Indeed. Well, let's give our viewers the benefit of looking at this op-ed that spurred your anger. He says, quote, "2 years later, it's clear that the health spending law will increase healthcare costs, reduce the number of new jobs created, and raid Medicare. It will impose a heavy burden on Kentucky's Medicaid system and force cuts to Kentucky hospitals." And yet, as I understand it, sir, none of that is true.
None of that is true.
I mean, Mr. McConnell is lying in the op-ed. Is that correct?
He is absolutely lying. And he makes a claim in this letter that the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, says that the average insurance premium of an American citizen will go up $2,100. That CBO analysis actually said that for the vast majority of Americans, premiums would actually go down from 7 to 10%. That a very small percentage of the population, if they bought a Cadillac plan, would see their premium go up $2,100, but far from the average American. And that's what he does consistently throughout this op-ed piece. He talks about a study of American small businesses, which said 48% of small businesses said they weren't going to hire because of the Affordable Care Act. This was a Gallup survey, but it was a survey of businesses who said they weren't going to hire. It was a limited field. 48% of them said they might not hire people because of health care costs. They were never asked about the Affordable Care Act. So we actually reproduced the actual survey in there to show people that while the 48 number was right, everything else that he described about it was wrong.
So, sir, finally and briefly, if you can, do you think you're going to get an opportunity to face him down?
No, Mitch, I challenge him all the time, and Mitch and I go back a long ways. I've known him for 40 years. Mitch is a very clever politician, and
he ain't going to fight you.
He ain't going to fight. He's going to fight me.
Indeed.
And that's too bad, because my constituents and his constituents deserve that kind of conversation.
Indeed, they do. Congressman John Yarmuth, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Martin.
We'll be right back to clear the air.